Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing segment of the Black Girl Encourage Her. I am your hostess with the mostest, Sheniqua Inspires, and y'all already know. I'm out here in these streets finding great people to connect with, to bring here, to speak to you all. And I found another gem. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her up to the stage so that she can get started sharing all of this good encouragement with you all. All right, we're bringing up Miss Eryka. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Please, I need to know a little bit more about you, but let's introduce you to the audience. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, thank you first and foremost for having me on your platform. I've enjoyed your content so far. It's been amazing, so thank you. Okay, so my name is Eryka Parker. I have a company. It's called Legacy Book Coaching and Consulting. For the past 16 years, I've been working in the publishing industry. I have helped a various amount of authors tell the gritty picture instead of the pretty picture, because it's that gritty picture that helps us to heal, learn, and grow. So sometimes it takes a lot of pulling out that real story and getting to the depths of what you have to offer to your readers. And so we do that journey together, because that can be something in a process that you're not prepared for. So I love it. My goal is to diversify the publishing landscape by introducing our stories to the world. So that's been my passion for the past 16 years.
Wow. Amazing. Now, listen, let me just tell you this, Eryka. You and I share a similar interest. I, too, am a publishing executive. I'm in that book publishing space. And I just want to put it out here for everyone. Look, there's no competition. This is about complementing each other. This is about like you said, getting those stories, those untold, unheard stories, getting that to the world. So we're not over here like, oh no, she does what I do. Oh, I can't have her on here. Oh, no. I actually just told you, I said, I wish we had connected prior to that, because you would have been perfect on the Black Girl Write Her series. So there is no competition. There doesn't have to be competition when we are here for an ultimate goal. So we have an ultimate like-minded goal, and I can't wait to see what this newfound connection will bring. So thank you for coming on to share a little bit of what you do with all of us.
Yes, thank you.
Now I got to ask you.
Uh-oh.
Are you an author yourself?
I am an author myself. So they say those that coach can't play, but that is not the story here. I can definitely write. I am a contemporary romance writer. I use a pen name, and that pen name is Zaria L. Banks. So I released my first novel. It's called Beauty Beheld back in March of 23. March 23rd, 2003. And then there was a follow-up holiday novella, Mistletoed, which is spelled missile, but Towed, because he is a tow. The interest is a tow truck driver. So I kind of did a little bit of wordplay there, but that was released in December of 2023.
Wow. Now, those aren't easy to write, because those are bigger in nature. So the fact that you did one in March and then, turned around a few months later and dropped another one, that is exciting. That is super exciting. We're going to have a lot to talk about. So, but today we're not here talking about book publishing. We got to address the elephant in the room, because this is a big old elephant that tends to try to show up in each and every room when you have women likened to ourselves present. Absolutely. We got to talk about this thing called imposter syndrome.
Yes, we do.
What's your take on it? Just, let's just get to the surface of it. What's your take on imposter syndrome?
I have grappled with imposter syndrome for most of my life. It has been something that probably set in my early 20s or so, right after graduating from college. You know how it is. You feel like you're going to take on the world when you become an adult. This world is mine, anything I want, because that's what our parents and teachers have instilled in us. However, there is an element that's built into us to, how do we say, protect. It's
Mhm.
under the guise of protection to protect us from the fear of the unknown. So, imposter syndrome is a fear of being found out. It
Mm.
is a fear that all the things that you have done and accomplished and the things that you are going to do and attempting to do, you're not capable of doing those things. This is a fluke. How did I end up where I am today? Have I earned my place in where I am today? So, a lot of women, men, everyone struggles with this daily. Anyone, I've never spoken to a person that has not, in some facet, struggled with imposter syndrome. So, what that looks like is just that tiny voice in your head that's really doubting something when you're on the cusp of something new. That's how you know you're on to something.
Mhm.
When that voice is saying, can we do this? Are we qualified to do this? I don't know. Maybe you should take a step back. Maybe you should X, Y, and Z fill in the blank.
Mhm.
So that is a way for you to protect yourself, or for that inner voice to protect you from what is on the cusp, which is something great.
Woo, I love it. But let's just go into it. And I'm not asking you to be a psychology major right now, but why do you think this imposter syndrome is so prevalent? Like, we've got all of the training, we've done the courses, we've got the certificates. Why is it that imposter syndrome is always in the room?
Always present. Always.
Always.
A big part of that is because when we are on our journey, it is a
Mhm.
natural instinct to want to grow, to progress, evolution, not be, becoming someone totally different than I was before. Of course, that's our desire to do that. But back in the caveman days, when the saber-toothed tiger was lurking and we didn't know where they were, right?
Right.
There was this instinct built in us for survival to warn us against things that we do not know about,
Yeah.
things that are unfamiliar, and things that are new challenges that we can't predict.
Hmm.
So in life, as you're pursuing new ventures and you're trying to grow and progress, that is terrifying, but it's also exciting. So that mixture of being afraid of the unknown, but also being excited, that's where you're really getting into that territory of your mind telling you, this ain't it.
Yeah.
This is not what we should be doing. But the biggest part of it is adopting what's called a fixed mindset instead of a growth mindset.
Hmm.
So there's some differences there, and some things that I think people need to recognize in order to really be able to understand why they're feeling this way. But
Okay.
before I get into that, I wanted to say that there is this inner voice, right? So we all have it, and a
Mhm.
lot of the times, what we may feel is that, okay, this is God, or this is the enemy trying to hold me back.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I want to clarify that anything that affirms you is God.
Yeah.
Anything that tells you you can do it is the Holy Spirit. It's
Yeah.
never going to be a situation where God is telling you you cannot. It's
Right.
always going to be to uplift and inspire. One of
Yeah.
the things that we confuse is that that enemy sometimes is within. So that
Mhm.
fear and that insecurity and that discouragement is us. We can't blame it on anyone else but us. So once we get to the point where we're able to acknowledge that, that's where we can start to change. So
I
the
love
fixed
it.
mindset. So what is fixed mindset? So fixed mindset is when you have the mentality that I don't want to do it if it's hard. I'm avoiding
Mm.
these challenges because I'm not capable of doing these things. This is, let someone else do it, not me. I'm not going to take that opportunity at this particular time. I can't grow. I'm where I am. Or sometimes a fixed mindset is over education. So we talked about the degrees,
Mhm.
the certifications, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's external validation. Sometimes we need things externally to affirm us. And when we seek external validation, that's a dangerous place to be in because now we are constantly judging ourselves and saying, I don't have enough education, qualifications. I need more letters behind my name. I need more people to tell me I'm great, right? I need to add more lines to that bio before I can apply. I can't apply for that promotion. I can't apply for that speaking gig because I'm not qualified enough. I need more education. That is your imposter syndrome speaking, unfortunately. So yes, I'm all for, education. I have 2 degrees, certifications, all kinds of things, but sometimes you got to just go for it and do it afraid.
Yes.
Limiting yourself by thinking, oh, after this or after that. Sometimes when the opportunity is right, you have to seize that opportunity because that's something that God provided for you and you need to go for it.
I love it. I love it. That fixed mindset. And what I'm hearing you say is that this is something that we all can get entangled in. Like even the highly educated, the highly sophisticated, we all can get caught up in this fixed mindset. And even myself as a speaker, teacher, leader, I always pride myself of, stretching myself and reaching to higher heights. But there is still that fixed mentality that tries to rear up every now and again when you enter into a room. Oh, you're not qualified. Oh, look at them. Oh, they qualify. Oh, look at how everybody's responded to them. They're not going to do that for you. And I loved how you said, anytime you hear those type of negative things, that limited belief system, that is either the enemy or the inner me, right? It is not of God. Everything of God is of opportunity. It's of love. So we have to know the word so we can test it. Yes. Even if it's us, we got to challenge. We got to fact check ourselves and what we're hearing. So I love that just shining the light on that fixed mindset. Now, you said on the opposite end of the spectrum is that growth mindset. What could you tell us about that? Because that's the place that I want to take residence there.
Yes. Right? Okay, so let's do a comparison. And I have my notes, so forgive me for glancing, but I wanted to make sure. So let's do a side-by-side comparison. Yes. Okay. Fixed mindset, seeking external approval. Growth mindset, seeking development. Fixed mindset, seeing failure as disaster. Yeah. Oh, I can't fall on my face. Everyone will judge me. I'm not qualified. Growth mindset is seeing failure as an opportunity to learn and grow. Yes. Fixed mindset is avoiding difficulties at all costs. And then growth mindset is to love a challenge and seek them out whenever possible. Emotional crutch, protecting us from failure. That's what a fixed mindset is. But when you adopt a growth mindset, it's more so working hard, envisioning your potential, because that's number one. You got to see it to believe it, right? Envisioning your potential as the best version of yourself. I know where I can go. I'm not limited in this box that they try to put me in, right? We love to categorize, I don't know if that's an American thing or not, but we love a category, right? Yeah. We love to put people in boxes. Self-confidence booster is a fixed mindset. You already smart enough, or you're this, or you're that, or you're that. You don't have to go for that sometimes scary opportunity, right? You don't have to go and speak at that TEDx. You don't need that all them people looking at you. Look at you, you doing your IG lives, and that's fine, right? But then when you have the growth mindset, it's confronting your own shortcomings head on, and with a desire to improve. Yeah. How can I grow here? What's the opportunity here? I don't lose. I either learn or I win. Yeah. Hard to get rid of a fixed mindset because it feels good. A fixed mindset that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's that good old comfort zone, baby. Yes. It's nice and warm. You done got the pillows and everything just right. Yeah.
And that's exactly the analogy I was going to say. On a cold winter day, you're in your bed.
Yes, honey.
Under your down comforter, you got your silk pillowcase, you got everything going on. And now that alarm goes off And your fixed mindset is call off today. It's warm under these covers. You can get a good book. You can Netflix and chill. You can do your thing today. Don't go into work, right? That's a fixed mindset. But a growth mindset is being able to see each day and seize the opportunity of every day. And the best part is anyone at any time of their lives can adopt a growth mindset. It's as simple as a quick shift in your mind and the way that you think. So it's a choice.
Yes.
It's intentional. It's something that you are choosing to do. And it's a choice you make every day. It's not just okay, I'm going to shift and go back. No, it is today I choose to have a growth mindset because I believe in myself and my potential, and I want great things in my life.
I love it. I love it. You know, they say it takes in 28 days, I believe it's 28 days to create a habit. So you have to consistently show up and do something for 28 days in order for it to become a habit. Yes. Once you evolved and now it has become a habit, it becomes a part of your routine. And once you've done it for so long, now it becomes a part of your lifestyle. So it sounds to me like this is something that we have to commit to every single day. It's not a set it and forget it. Up, just going to turn it dial to growth mindset. And that's where I'm going to be at and stay, you know, forever and ever. Amen. It sounds like it's something that we have to, like you said, intentionally decide that no, today we're going to push the envelope just a little bit further. We're going to reach and stretch just a little bit further to see what we're going to get, how we're going to grow, and how we're going to get to that next level. Because let me tell you, there's always a next level. There's always a next level. Now, Eryka, would you say that at some point in our lives, maybe when we get to a certain age, that imposter syndrome would just leave us alone?
Oh, in a perfect world, right?
Right.
I would say the only time imposter syndrome will leave you alone is when you stop growing, when you refuse to grow, when you say, okay, this is it. I'm done. I don't need to do anything else. I'm content where I am. I'm going to sit right here and let life pass me by. It'll leave you alone then. You won't have to worry about it. You could just sit there on your couch and let life pass you by. But we're not going to do that, right? If we're being realistic, we're not going to do that. We're always going to seek new ways and opportunities to show up differently in our lives, to invest in ourselves, to invest in our children, grandchildren, to build a legacy and to leave a legacy, right? We all want to be remembered for something. So if we are on that journey, and that journey is until your last breath, as long as I'm concerned, right?
That's right.
So no, it's not going to leave you alone. However, there is a way for you to be able to manage your imposter syndrome. There is definitely a way for you to be able to do those things.
Okay. So before we go into that, because we do need to hear that, I want to ask you, Eryka, tell us, if you will, about your most recent entanglement with imposter syndrome. What was going on? What did you feel? And then what did you do to get past it or sit with? I mean, we don't know. Maybe you sat with it, but let us know what the outcome was from your most recent entanglement with it.
Great question. So last year, it was around October. I want to say around October in that area. I was checking my emails and I was in my inbox. And I saw this invitation to apply for a presenter's opportunity with one of the largest 4-day women's conferences for publishing.
Okay.
So I saw it, I said, wow, this would be a really great opportunity for me to say that I've had an international speaking engagement, because so far, you know, I've done some online, but in terms of like an international presenting, that's a great opportunity for me. So I said, okay, that's interesting. Close the email. And as soon as I closed that email, that imposter syndrome came in and said, this person, because I knew her personally, not personally, I had taken some of her courses before, and I had met her at a university, like a publishing university event in San Diego earlier that year. This person receives over 800 applications for presenters, and there is a very small amount of presenters available for this conference, meaning I think it was probably about 8 a day. So that's 32 slots. So she has 800 applications from people that have way more experience in publishing than you, have worked for traditional publishing houses, are international best-selling authors, right? Have a longer resume.
Yeah.
What in the world makes you think that you can apply for this? Come on.
Yeah.
And I sat back and I said, you're right. You're right. I deleted that email. I deleted. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. But it stayed with me. Has God ever told you to do something? You said, yeah, God, right. Okay. And then the next day and the next day and the next week and the next month.
Yeah.
As soon as you wake up, last thing when you go to sleep.
Yeah.
I thought I told you. Didn't I tell you? Right. And you're like, yeah. Oh my goodness. Right.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Wow.
It was such an overwhelming presence. You need to apply to this. You are qualified for this. You can do this. What are you waiting for? This is an opportunity. That's that next step that you've been praying for, that you've been telling me that you want.
Yeah.
What's up? And I said, I know, Lord, I know, right? And I'm just wrestling with it. And finally I said, okay, forget it. I'm doing it. Okay. I applied. And then I said, okay, Lord, I applied. Now, please. Okay. And he left me alone. And I said, okay. About 2 months later, I get an email that said, congratulations, you have been selected as a presenter. And I said, I closed it out.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
He said he would. I closed it out. I brought it back up. I closed it out. I said, this is a mistake. And then I scrolled down and it was all the instructions of what to do and what not to do and how to share and what. And I said, oh my goodness. Now I have presented on many platforms before, but this one was so close to my heart because it was publishing.
Yeah.
I've never done that on a publishing platform. So this was special to me.
Yeah.
And because I did not allow imposter syndrome to keep me down, it got me down. It got me. But I didn't let it keep me down because I said, I know that I'm qualified for this. I know I can do it. And who cares how many people apply for it? What God has for me is for me and only me.
There you go.
And when he designed me, he said what he said. So I cannot continue to question that gift that he has given me. I can't do that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. That's a feel-good story if I never heard one. I know everybody is feeling good. So one of the takeaways that I heard is that you tuned your voice into God. You was trying to ignore it, but you did tune your voice into God. So now let's get into what someone can do. Like, give us some day-to-day principles that we can use to strengthen our growth mindset so that we have what it takes to go hand in hand, battle for battle with this imposter syndrome. What can we do?
Yes. The first thing that we need to do is we need to recognize our triggers. That's step one.
Yeah.
You have to recognize when you are triggered, you need to stop. And you need to figure out, okay. And I liken this to having a child, an infant who is crying and fussing and acting a fool in the store. And you got to scoop them up and you got to carry them to the car. And then you got to go home. You got to feed them and you got to lay them down for a nap. Did you blow up at them and yell and scream? No, you didn't do that because deep down you knew that this was a symptom. This child is tired and hungry, and I need to give my baby the nurturing and that rest that my baby needs so that when they wake up, they can feel restored and rejuvenated. Same thing. Recognize that this is a symptom of fear. So when I am triggered, I know, okay, this is something new. This is something I haven't done before. Oh, you've presented at women's conferences, but you've never presented at a publishing conference. So what's this going to be like? Right? Why am I qualified to do that? Right? So once I realized, sat with it, because my feelings, I hurt my own feelings.
Listen, I hear that.
So once I sat with that, I said, okay, now I know that this is something new, and that's why I'm getting triggered, because I'm afraid. I've never done this before. When I get on platforms like with you, especially with someone that's so warm and inviting like you, this is fine for me. I can do this all day. When I get on a stage, I can do it. But now this is something new. I've never done this. So that's step one. Understand your trigger.
Yes.
Step two is, okay, when the trigger happens and when that reaction and response happens, you need to validate that response. Don't say, shut up, I'm qualified, I know what I'm doing. Don't do that. You wouldn't say shut up to your child when they're asking you, mommy, why, or I don't understand. So you wouldn't, if you wouldn't do that to them, you need to speak to yourself with the same loving words that you would expect to speak to your granny with, or your mom, or someone you respect, an elder, right? That respect. So you would say to yourself, I understand. This is something new for us. We've never done this before. This is something that is scary. It's terrifying. It's exciting, but it's terrifying. I get that. Right? Just validate it. That's step two. Step three is to then affirm. But when you affirm, you need to root it in facts, not emotion. So the emotion is already high, right? So what happens when you add fire to fire? Boom. Don't meet that fear with emotion. Meet it with facts.
Wow.
These are some of the facts, aka affirmations, that I use with myself. I say to myself, I am qualified for this. I was chosen and selected by someone because they had enough trust in me to do this. I am going to show up as only I can. I was selected because I am unique. Yes, this topic has been spoken on for years, but my perspective and my solution and approach to this is unique. So I'm going to trust myself, I'm going to trust God, and I'm going to trust the person who has given me this opportunity and show up as only I can. And I say those things to myself because I need to hear that. And that is not something that you're saying because you're gassing yourself up, right? Sometimes it is. Sometimes you fake it till you make it. There have been instances where I've had to do that, but this is not a fake it till you make it. This is an authentic thing that you're saying to yourself. These are facts.
Facts. Yes, I love that. It's not feelings, facts.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, right? Facts over feelings.
Yeah.
FOF.
Yes.
Put it on a t-shirt, tag it on your arm. It is something that you need to keep with yourself because that is what you need to affirm yourself and give yourself that vote of confidence. Not that self-confidence that, fluff that the fixed mindset gives you. Oh, we're cool. We don't need that. But the actual vote of confidence that comes from an authentic place.
Yes.
That's what you need to do.
I love it. Oh, that was good. I hope y'all was taking notes because that was good. Now, Eryka, we don't want to sit here and just because we could sit here and have this chat all day long. But what words of encouragement? I mean, and you've given us so much. You've given us practical tools that we can use. But if you had to speak to someone directly, right, who has an opportunity before them, But again, that fixed mindset is like, girl, you don't need it. You don't need it. You fine just the way you are. What words of encouragement would you give her? Could be a him, that might make them make the better decision.
I would say this, two things. The first thing I would say is you need to check yourself to see why you're really wanting to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we do things, and I have to catch myself. Sometimes we do things for likes. Mm-hmm. And what I stopped doing was I stopped posting for likes, because I would post something and I would get like 0 likes or maybe a couple likes, and then I would delete it. I'd go back and delete it like, oh, that was stupid. Yeah. I shouldn't have said that, or that was right.
Yeah.
Because these algorithms are not showing your stuff to people. It has nothing to do with you. Yeah. Your stuff is getting hidden because of however the algorithms are and whoever they favor that day, right?
But now you all in your feelings.
Right. Now you like me. Like, that was stupid.
They don't like me.
Like me. No. Yeah. So first, check yourself. If you're coming from an authentic place, you need to stand on it.
Yeah.
And you need to own that the reason I'm going after this is because I want to get my message out to the world.
Yeah.
The world needs to hear my story. Someone's going to be better for it. Yeah. And regardless if I get a pat on the back or whatever, if one person's life is touched or changed, then I've done what I was supposed to do. That's number one. So once you get that confidence of I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm being called to do, nothing can shake that, because that's rooted in something real. Yeah. And so we don't have to worry about that back and forth when that happens.
Yeah.
That's number one. The second thing I would say is when you approach something new and scary and you start to really fear and doubt yourself and say, can I do it? And things like that. There's two ways and two kind of bodily reactions that we have when we're excited about something, where we get this kind of edgy, nervous kind of feeling. Mm-hmm. And we're just like, but that's also the feeling that we get when we're afraid. Mm-hmm. So whenever I'm about to do something, I'm really, really afraid, I just trick myself and say, no, I'm excited. I'm pumped. Thank you, God, for this opportunity. Oh my gosh. I start doing my Holy Spirit dance.
Yes.
Lord, thank you for this opportunity. And I really get into it so that fear converts into excitement. And now everybody around me is like, oh, she is so pumped. And they join me and we just, yes. Yeah. What has happened in our lives because God has come in. He stepped in. He did what he said he would do. Yes. So turn that fear into excitement, because you can do that little mental shift quickly. Mm-hmm. Like before you step on stage, before you pick up the phone for that interview, before you do that scary thing, just trick your mind into saying, oh, I get to be here. I get this opportunity. I get to do this.
Yeah.
That's simple.
I love it. I love it. And listen, you are speaking all the way right. I too am a public speaker, and I go across the stages in different countries, different states speaking. And one of the things that I love to do before I go up to speak is I like music. So if I'm speaking at your event and you got a DJ, give me something good to come in on, because what that does is it helps me to convert faster. So I'm able to take all of that nervous energy and I'm able to shake it off and dance it out. And now I'm in a place, because one thing I can do is dance. Can't nobody tell me I can't dance, honey. So I know that that's a comfort area for me, and it helps me to quickly convert that energy that's inside. So I love that advice. I stamp it with my seal of approval, because it is something that I have done myself, not really knowing that that's what I was doing, but it is exactly what I have been doing. So that is some really, really good advice. I hope and pray that that impacts someone to make a change. Now, Eryka, before we go, we got to get your social media handles going so that people can connect with you. You're on Facebook, Eryka Parker, and y'all don't forget her name is spelled different than what we commonly see, right? She's an Eryka with a Y. She's out here in these Instagram streets. And she is on LinkedIn. I'm trying to love LinkedIn, so she's on LinkedIn as well. Everybody who is on my mailing list, you got the email already. You know all about Eryka Parker. You got all of the links to connect with her on social media, and I hope that you will. Eryka, is there anything in particular that you're working on new in this season that you want to share with us?
Always lots and lots of new things on the horizon. I think that probably the biggest thing that I'm working on now is just creating a platform of encouragement. So on Instagram, as Eryka Speaks, it's just words of affirmation for you and messages that you can use every day so that you can grow and sow into yourself. I think that's so important.
Yeah.
And on legacybookcoaching.com/links with an S at the end, there's a free download for people that have watched today with that growth mindset hack workbook that you can download. So yeah, go visit there and make sure that you look there to get a little bit of a nugget that you can use. And then lastly, Facebook and Instagram, Legacy Book Coaching. So follow us and inbox me if you're ready to tell the gritty story and not the pretty story. If you need someone to help you peel back those layers, I would love to work with you. And then, yeah, we're going to have to speak because maybe we can pass back and forth some leads and
Yes.
things like that, because I would love to learn more about how we can work together. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. I love it. You look, I had to update the website because we had to get that links on there. We love us some free gifts. So you all make certain you check out that resource. And one of the reasons why the people perish is because of a lack of knowledge, right? The knowledge is out there. The wisdom is out there. The encouragement is out there. The inspiration is out there. You just have to make that step. You have to make that consistent step to say, you know what? I'm going to go forward. I'm going to go forward. I'm going to go forward and keep challenging that inner voice that tells you, nah, you good. You don't need to hear Eryka speaks. No, she's speaking, everybody's speaking. You good. No, maybe Erica's gonna say something that might speak directly to you on this day. So I encourage you all to take heed to the resources that come out available to you. Eryka, hang out for just a second, please. Let me give the people their marching orders. Wasn't that good? That was so good. I hope and pray that you all have enjoyed this week's segment of the Black Girl Encourage Her, because I don't know about you, but I'm feeling real encouraged right now. Make certain that you subscribe, you like, you share with someone that you love and that you care about, because you never know those secret battles with imposter syndrome that someone may be going through. So we want to be able to share this message so that everyone feels supported just as you did on this day. So until next time, I will see you all on the next segment of the Black Girl Encourage Her. Take care and God bless.